Hana Huszár, and I have a background in molecular biology. I have a PhD from molecular biology, but now I am not an active researcher, though I still work at the University of Graz, and I am a project coordinator at the University of Graz. Definitely, I could mention my parents, especially my father, who kind of primed me to become interested in science. He studied chemical technology, and then he had some sort of an aim to educate his children. So whenever we had a long car ride, he would explain me and my brother how the beer is made and how the steel is made, and this was probably the first spark of interest in science that I had. I think to answer this question, I still need to go back to my high school and really highlight my biology and chemistry teacher, who was excellent, and she explained us or taught us things about science way beyond textbook, and there really started my focus on molecular biology. And then when I started my university, I was sure that I wanted to do something related to human health or medtech. But gradually, as I learned more and more about plant biology, I really became interested in this subject. That was the fundamental change in my career that I took, that I started with the plant biology. The whole atmosphere was really amazing. For me, I felt a little bit like Alice in the Wonderland, because suddenly I'm surrounded by all these excellent scientists and super interesting research topics. So I really enjoyed the environment there and people there. And my main research project was about plant root system, and to reveal the molecular mechanisms of how plant roots branch. Not only there were state-of-the-art equipment, we really had great microscopes and huge support from the technical perspective. But I again would like to highlight the people, the brains of IST, because the atmosphere that they cultivated there on purpose was to put together scientists from different disciplines, and they wanted them to talk together. So if I had a scientific problem, I could talk to my colleagues, biologists, but if it had some other aspects of, let's say, complicated data analysis, I could also reach out to my friends, mathematicians or physicists, and discuss this problem with them. And I think this is this environment that sparks collaboration. That was really excellent there. This is a very long story. So if I would really cut the long story short, I'd say I landed a job there. It was already after my PhD. I was looking for jobs, and I got an offer from a biotech startup in Graz. And it was something very interesting that I sort of couldn't say no to, and that's why I moved there, and I also took my family there with me.
So how long have you been there?
It will be now 2 years. Since then things changed, so the startup unfortunately didn't make it. I found a job at the University of Graz, where I'm now a project coordinator. It helps me immensely, because if one is a PhD student, then one is actually also a project manager. So in what I took from the time when I was experimental biologist was the sense of organization and planning. And Why this is important? So I coordinate a consortium of 5 universities and 7 industry partners which are working on the same scientific question. And I facilitate that the whole project is going where it should, and there is a bit of the administration and bureaucracy too, indeed. My typical day is that I show up at work and I have a bunch of emails in my mailbox that I need to deal with. But completely concretely, it depends on the phase of the project. So we just started the project at Uni Graz. Now we are hiring 11 PhD students. So I am currently looking through the applications, replying to their questions, and organizing meetings for the consortium. Yes, I was. Honestly, this was my plan at the beginning of the PhD, that once I finished the PhD, I would go somewhere overseas to do research in Japan or in the United States. But at the end, my plans changed. I decided not to pursue academic career and stay closer to home in Europe. So that's why. I think in many ways it is quite similar. I would say that then the IST or ISTA would be something very different from Czech institution as I know them. So this University of Graz is a typical university. However, I would say that the university is more prepared and makes more effort to be prepared to receive European funding. And I think this makes a big difference. In Czexpats, I am a coordinator of Czexpats in Science Award. This is an award for Czech researchers that work abroad. My biggest motivation to do that is to somehow help the Czech science, development of the Czech science, and mainly what I find really important is that if there is a scientist, Czech scientist working abroad, and they have the wish to return to Czechia and start here, then Czexpats is the organization that is helping them with that. And I like this mission. On many fronts, they are organizing, for example, workshops for scientists and explain what are the possible challenges of returning back to Czechia and how to overcome them. They also are uniting Czech scientists abroad through like local meetups. There was one in Vienna just last fall, and other activities too. So I think there is some support, but it always can be bigger. And I think it would be important for the institutions to recognize this power of attracting the researchers abroad to come back home and bring the knowledge here and develop it here, which then of course translates to society too. So I think the support could be bigger, would be great. I have no regrets, really. It was such a fantastic experience to be able to pursue PhD. I think I also helped with development of a certain research topic. I was supervising students, and although it does not, a lot of knowledge that I accumulated does not directly translate to my current job, all of the soft skills do. So it's a really good training to become then flexible in life, whatever you do. I would really like to become a pro in this project management, and I would like to get more familiar with the European funding and be able to leverage this knowledge in my future career. Yeah. When you pursue science, when you do a PhD, often you're told that your only career path is to go for a postdoc and then eventually become a professor. But I would like to highlight here that this is really not the case, and it is really worth it to do the PhD anyways. And it is nowhere written that you have to follow the traditional path. You can always branch out and go for something else. So my advice to summarize is, don't be afraid to do things which are a bit less conventional with your career.